That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a few. They actually did a few more things. Fill of vinegar. They actually did a few more TikToks, and supposedly they're dating. But you asked me what happened because you're saying that Gypsy admitted to the unaliving of her mom, and that's what has a lot of people miss that. So people, because like her ex-husband Ryan Anderson said, she's always admitted that. No, she didn't. She admitted she had something to do with the hiring or the getting or the finding of Nick Godejohn. She never admitted to the actual of her mom. And here, I think that's what she was doing, but she's not going to really admit to that. She's been called out on it. TMZ allowed her to apologize, and her apology was so lame. We were trying to. She said that she was trying to face what she did in the past. And no, she was mocking what she was doing. I mean, seriously, what do you see it as?
What are these kids called? It's not. It's trending. Trending includes a little mockery, a little deprecation, a little making fun. I mean, it's she went for something trending. And what's the catchphrase they were using?
We listen and we don't judge.
We don't judge. Yes, okay, that was their.
Yeah.
They're trying to get a hook on a keyword phrase. It seems that's and for clicks, for views, for
Well,
TikTok.
it seems like the people, the subscribers, um, like I had told you, are very pleased with the fact that you have finally seen the light and realized that Gypsy is Gypsy for who she is, and that you were coming down a little hard on her mom.
Well, it's not so much I was coming down hard on the mom. I have sensibility to see in terms of accountability and responsibility up until a point. Now, after the age of 18, Gypsy has turned into an incorrigible adult. She's clearly someone who claims to be repentant and taking accountability for herself, but there's zero of that. And this last video, if anything, you called it mockery. It to me is opportunistic, sociopathic, almost taking advantage
Absolutely,
of her
absolutely.
crime for clicks, for views, and for
So
you know
here's where I want
for
to
what
talk to you
purpose?
about something.
You know,
So,
it's going to be
so
just monetary. She's monetizing her
but
past
here
now.
it gets no, it's worse than that, Phil, and I'll tell you why. Because Gypsy supposedly has a child, and her child is 1 years old, turned 1 years old in December. Now, ultimately, the child's going to go to school, the child's going to have play dates. How many people are going to allow their child to go to Gypsy Rose's house to hang out with her child when they see things like this? So, Gypsy says that the whole thing with her mom, she doesn't want to repeat the cycle. Actually, she's doing much worse because she, we have to believe that Dee Dee was a horrible person, and that, and I don't believe that, so what Gypsy's doing is absolutely, she's taking views and putting them over her child's well-being and her child's future as a healthy individual who's able to make friends and build relationships, right? Don't you what do you think about that?
Well, certainly not considering any of that, and it makes it suspect as to is this really a child? Is it an AI child? I mean, is it something that she's invented? Is this
So here's the
because
thing about
now everything she does and says is suspect because of this, and
absolutely. I'm glad you say that. Well,
well,
here's the
that
thing. Here's the thing
clearly.
about the child. In the divorce, there's no mention of a child. Okay, as far as, and she was pregnant at the time. Excuse me. Um, so there's no mention of that. And there's no mention of that, I believe, after the divorce, because there's no mention of the baby. Um, People have believe it's an AI baby. not an AI baby.
Oh,
I'm
really? I
sorry.
used the term.
I'm sorry, not AI. I'm sorry, not an AI baby, but one of those reborns. One of those, you can look them up online. They look like babies. They look legitimate. A lot of people buy them, and they're very
An
expensive.
actual type of doll, right? Yes.
Yeah. So, and there's people that believe that, and Gypsy has messed with our heads as far as having, different babies in pictures with her, and has manipulated photos and such.
Yeah, I would think that to your point that if she actually had a child and was concerned about this child's future in a community where she could be accepted for who she is, that she herself would have been flexible enough to change her name and concealed her identity and taken on the last name of someone else, and not put that child in harm's way. I'm sorry, my light just went out in my house. There you go.
Thank
Just went
you.
off on its own. That was kind of weird. But I would only think that she would have taken some steps to protect this child. But again, we're dealing with a
And
personality.
you would say, but here's the thing. So but she's not. Here's where you have to question and say, well, so there's a dad of the child. He's apparently not saying anything, and then there's grandparents, and apparently nobody's saying, "Hey, that's a bad look," or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not saying anything that is making her. I just can't imagine a grandparent of that baby not saying, "Whoa, what are you doing?" Like, how
Or
long is it
posting
gonna be
pictures
before
on their
you let that
Facebook on
shit
a birthday
down?
party. You would think that there would be some substance from their Facebook accounts posting pictures to
Well,
that point, that there would be history, baby's first steps. Oh, grandma's so happy.
it's just
They're not have there's no substance there.
well, even I don't know. I don't know what they share amongst themselves, but the point is, wouldn't you think that a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle or somebody, the baby daddy, would say, "Hey, like, this is a person, Natalie Reynolds, who paid didn't he I don't even know if she paid the woman the $20 to jump in water when she said she couldn't swim, and then laughed at her and ran away." Like, how did and then she's the same person you're doing videos now. The theory is that Natalie Reynolds did the video with Gypsy Rose to make her situation not look as bad, because, like, Gypsy Rose unalived her mom. Like, that's pretty freaking bad. It's much worse than doing that to a woman who can't swim, unless, of course, you're that woman that can't swim. So,
While those two deserve each other, don't they?
yeah, but here's the thing. Why isn't it a grandparent? Why isn't somebody stepping in and saying, that's not in my granddaughter's best interest? I mean, she's got to live down your crime. You won't even, like, how is she supposed to live down your crime and have any kind of normalcy when you're behaving like this now? Like, are you ever going to give it a chance for her to live down? Will you ever let it be silent enough for her to be able to go to school and have some of this so far, behind her, that it's always going to be in the rear view mirror, and it appears closer than normal because she keeps doing shit Gypsy does.
You would think I would only imagine if this was a real child and there was family had concerns about it, that there would be a little bit more public response, conceivably, um, to whatever
Right.
campaign she's running now with, or she got talked into. This Natalie might have been the manipulator in the case and talked her into
Yeah, but
getting some
you're
views
still
again.
going with, but you're continuing to go with it.
They're
They've
making
made more
money.
videos.
They're making
Yeah.
something.
Okay. Again. Right. So it's more important than your dignity and your child's. Apparently, you've made
And
that
any
decision.
accountability you claiming that you might have.
No, she says she has no accountability unless, like, she's talking on TMZ, but she said plenty of times that, like, there's no kind of love or remorse or anything she's with her mom. But let's watch the interrogation video. Is that cool? Let me get it.
Sure. Do you think has she ever actually admitted in a way that was obvious to her friends that this is something she planned?
I heard that she did that in prison, but I'm not sure. And I, as much as I think she did it, was when she just said that, um, is when she said that her and Natalie, uh, that
Yeah, no,
her and
that felt
Natalie.
like a real admission, without a doubt. I was just curious if
That's the thing that I would say was the most, was
yeah,
when
there's a
she
little
did.
tendency to hear bragging possibly coming out of her, so I just was
Right,
curious if there was
exactly. So I just
scuttlebutt on
that's
that, if there was,
so that's the thing that I don't know.
"It's a lovely day in your neighborhood."
Gypsy, let you guys talk. I'm Detective Hancock.
Okay, so I gotta
Office.
stay over
Starting
here. I gotta stay over here so I could hit the button, okay?
Understood, and now we're looking at her only hours after their capture?
Yes, now this is like 3 days after the crime, okay?
Oh, it's 3 days or so after the
So
crime.
it's about 3 days after the crime, because she left and went to Nick. She went to go live with Nick. Remember? Okay, so they
That's
didn't
right,
leave they didn't leave the night of the crime. They had to stay in the hotel. Remember? Because she didn't have a ticket out of there.
and they
So
posted a
then,
video from that night.
so I think this was either 3 or 4 days, about 4 days or so. No, they posted the video about the brownies.
Okay,
The brownie video in the hotel. All right,
yeah,
so you ready? Okay. So this is Hancock, Detective Hancock, and this is Gypsy. Now, if you were to look at Nick's video, his interrogation, he is handcuffed. He's sitting in a plastic chair. He has a blanket thrown over him. Gypsy's laying down. She's got a sandwich bag there, lunch, and she's
mhm.
got a fish shaped pillow, and she's sleeping on a couch, and she's not handcuffed. Just so you see, this is the truth.
Okay, so it was right off the get-go.
Excuse me?
There was bias right off the get-go. She was given
Absolutely,
right,
absolutely,
right.
absolutely. Hmm.
You all right? Good, good. All right, well, Gypsy, I'm here and I want to get a little bit of information from you. So, since this is the first time I've ever met you, okay, so what is the correct spelling of your first name?
Gypsyrose. And my middle initial is A.
Okay.
And my last name is Blanchard.
Now, the thing about this, Phil, is that you're going to see a few different personalities come out in Gypsy as she gets caught and stuff.
BLANC.
Anytime you want me to stop or say something, please let me know, because I can't see you anymore when I'm on this screen.
No problem. And just that you can hear the little girl voice in her.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely so. And currently she has her dentures in her mouth. At the end of this, she will not.
BHA.
Blanchard is Blanchard.
Blanchard. Okay.
Now, they pulled her out of Nick's house because of the Facebook post that she put up, not realizing that they were going to find her so quickly with the IRL or the URL address, because she had posted on Facebook that the bitch is dead, and that Gypsy was slain as well, and she's going to talk about this. And again, I'm sorry I have to interrupt this, but it's for copyright reasons.
Okay.
Understood.
All right. And your date of birth, Gypsy?
Is 7/27/1995. On here they have 91 because
Okay, so listen, she's lying right now because she was born in 1991. Now, that's when she was born. She's telling him, I was born in 1995. And this is in 2015 right here. Okay? So she was born in 1991. She's lying to him right here, Phil.
Okay.
Makes a long story, but
Okay, sure.
me and my mother are Hurricane Katrina survivors.
Okay.
And my birth certificate was washed away in Katrina.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they messed up a long time when they messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95.
Okay.
Now you can't
So
blame
that's
her
the
mother.
lie right
You
there.
can't blame her mother on this one. Nope, she's here all by herself. What's that, Phil?
I said that's the lie right there.
And she knows when she was born.
And you mentioned Dee Dee. Did she get this lie initially from Dee Dee? Was this something Dee Dee was perpetrating?
I don't. If Dee Dee was lying about Gypsy's age, it was to buy her time to figure out what was legitimately wrong with her.
She did it so easily and as a matter of reflex, and she's defending it right off the bat, whereas survivors of Hurricane Katrina. So I was just curious. There's a performative quality to what she's doing, so I'm just trying to observe that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but you how old then?
I would be really 19, but on here it's my Medicaid. My medical insurance has 23.
Okay, all right. So how old actually are you? Let's get
19.
19. Okay.
It's all screwed.
Yeah,
She's not 19 and she knows that.
absolutely. Gypsy, do you know your social security number?
Unfortunately, I don't. I brought my card with me,
Okay.
but it's at my boyfriend's house.
Okay, we'll get with that later then. All right. Now, how long have you actually lived there in Missouri?
In Missouri since 2006.
2006.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you work anywhere?
No, sir.
Okay.
Now, it is true that they are Hurricane Katrina survivors. Her and her mother were Hurricane Katrina survivors. As a matter of fact, Phil, I don't know if I've told you this or not, or if you'll even remember this, but they actually took a helicopter out of there, believing that Gypsy had cancer, I think, or something that she had to. It might have been a heart condition. I'm sorry, I don't remember. They definitely did think she had cancer at some point. That's the Make-A-Wish stuff that came into play, but she was like, I don't want to say life vacked out, but more or less to get out of Hurricane Katrina after the aftermath. That's how she got to Missouri, her and her mom. They did go on a private helicopter that was sent for them.
So when you say they're survivors, I don't know enough detail about it. Did they have an address that was blown away, damaged, or destroyed by the storm? Were they living in a spot that was no longer viable for them to return back to because the damage
I
of the
don't know if they had I don't know where they were living before Hurricane Katrina, but I'm pretty sure in the area that they were at it was devastated. Because like her dad's from Cutoff, and if you look at where Cutoff, Louisiana is, it's kind of like what we would consider the Keys in Florida, where um they're
it's out there on the Gulf. It's not.
it is, yeah, and it's already underwater. I mean, like it's already under sea level, kind of like the Keys, and and I'm not just talking about Key West, obviously. I'm talking about all the keys that lead out to there: Key Largo, Island Murata, Marathon. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of set like that. I mean, I know that you know about Louisiana, but that's where they would be very south, and I believe that she was from Cutoff as well, Dee Dee. So devastated by Hurricane Katrina, I'm pretty sure. They did end up in I believe that they did end up in one of the shelters. I think that at one point I believe that they were in the Astrodome.
Yeah, that's
Not
what a lot
the
of.
Astrodome. I'm sorry, not the Astrodome, where the Saints play. The Astrodome's in Texas.
Well, a lot of people were transported to Houston because of the storm, and they were. I remember there was complaints. There was a lot of problems with people.
Yeah, but it wasn't. No. That wasn't where the Saints play. That was a stadium, an indoor stadium where the Saints play. Excuse me, in New Orleans or wherever that stadium was.
Yeah, no, I remember there was a
And the
lot of
ceiling,
problems.
yeah, but also yes, inside as well as the structure of the stadium itself, because a lot of the roof came off the stadium. Listen, that was a devastating storm. I'll never forget it. It changed a lot of my views on America, to be honest with you, which I don't really want to get into here. but it definitely, it was a sobering reality to the racism that was still in the country
Yeah.
and continues to be.
And it
And
was such a strange storm because it actually, I was living in Florida at the time and it formed off the coast. I remember going to lunch, and by the time I got back, they were like, everybody's going home. Why? There's a hurricane coming. And there was no news of that hurricane other than it being a storm front or whatever it was that could turn into one, just a few hours before. And then it crossed over the state and went into the Gulf, got strong, and then did the damage that it did.
yeah,
Um,
it was a surprise storm that came up. Like it was a surprise, first of all, in the way that it turned, I believe, but also in how it strengthened over the small, because there's not a lot of water between the Florida Peninsula and Louisiana. I mean, there's really not
Yeah,
a
no, I don't
lot.
remember getting a lot of rain, but we got a lot of wind damage. We were without electricity for 2 weeks, and then a couple weeks later, Hurricane Wilma happened to South Florida, and that was like 3 weeks of no electricity after that.
I remember that happening. I wasn't there at the time.
Yeah,
I wasn't living there at the time, but I
but
remember. And then there was another storm that came shortly after that one as well. There was like 3 in a row that came that um yeah, that affected Florida pretty badly. And I
but
mean,
but to
near
your
what
point,
happened in, not near what happened over there in Louisiana.
the storm did uncover a lot of flaws and certainly vulnerabilities for people and how government can fail them. And
Yeah, it was absolutely devastating, and not just to obviously the people that lost their lives, but for the people that believed in the goodness of in the equality in America. And it was very sobering, and I saw it. And what was the it was the first time, and if I remember, no, seriously, the last time that, so I watched CNN, my dad watched Fox, and I'm watching this on CNN, and I'm seeing all these devastated newscasters just telling about people left behind, and it was black people. They were just in, like, they didn't matter. And then I'm at a restaurant with my dad, and they have the Fox News on, and I'm telling my dad what's going on, and he was saying, "No, that's not happening." I'm like, "Turn around, like, just," and I forget who it was. I wanna say it was Shep. Wasn't that guy Shep?
yeah,
You know,
Shep Smith or something
yeah,
like that. Yeah, yeah, he was good. I liked him.
but he was on Fox, right? He
Yeah, he
was,
was one of the sober
so
voices on Fox, like
right,
Mr.
so
Carlisle.
and I remember he was he was there, and he was watching. There was buses, supposedly there were these buses with bus drivers across the street, and there were these lines of people that were literally dying and dropping dead in the sun right in front of him, and he couldn't understand why they couldn't get on the buses and leave. And he was just like, "I can't," like another person just, and so it wasn't just CNN, it was Fox, and they were both reporting the same exact thing, and that's when you knew, "Oh my god, it's true. This isn't any fucking propaganda. There's people dying on the streets of our country because they have a different skin color. How does that, what the fuck?" And I remember I went to, Russia after that, probably, I don't know, I wanna say I went to Russia maybe 4 or 5 years after Hurricane Katrina, and you know, when you're on one of those really long international flights and you just start talking to people, and we flew into Sweden, and you're flying out of JFK, so on that flight it's a petri dish of every culture basically, right? So the people are saying, "Where are you from? Where are you from?" And I remember that I wasn't proud to say that I was from the United States. I remember that I was not proud to say that because of what had happened with Hurricane Katrina. So I just, I'm not a black person. And I understand what white privilege means when you see something like that. I've never thought about white privilege before. I never thought about it, but I literally saw people die just because other people thought they were insignificant. And that was fucking sad and sobering and something to be ashamed of. But that's not what this is about. So let's get into what Gypsy was going through. Anyway, somebody else could have used that that life vac somewhere. It didn't need to be Gypsy, but anyway, she took it.
Okay, before we go there, I need to just say one final point on you. It's a long history of that in this country, and what it uncovered, Katrina, is still we're still working on it. It boiled up in the streets yesterday, and had probably the greatest protest that American citizens have been involved with, and it was mostly nonviolent. I mean, I've only heard of one instant of a guy who pushed his way into a crowd and got manhandled a bit. But other than that, it was an amazing thing for 8 or 9 million people to get out on the streets and to have this. We have that hope. We grew up in a world where equality was an ideal and it was real strong. So, and it's sad to see somebody have take advantage of privilege like she's getting here, that seemingly is afforded to her again out of some weird bias towards what, female criminals. I mean, had they not seen was Mickey and Mallory there? What was that movie? You know what I'm talking about, right? Woody Harrelson.
With Woody Harrelson.
Born Killers. What a movie that was! And had they not seen that movie, what's going on with these people?
Here's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think that she saw Gone Girl Gone, to be honest with you, or that Gone Girl one with Ben Affleck, where
that's good. Casey.
Because I really no, it was Ben, and it was Ben and Neil Patrick Harris was in it, and she goes missing supposedly, but she ends up with her boyfriend, and then she comes back. What's her name? Sarah Papil. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Sarah Papillion or something like that. You know who I'm talking about.
I do. I remember the movie. It was devastating. I thought it was Casey Affleck that was the star. Ben Affleck directed it, right?
No. It was definitely Ben Affleck. You can look it up. Ben Affleck.
No. I will at some point. I do remember the movie, but there's a bleed through. The town is in there, and a couple other movies all sort of blend together. But anyway. It just seems like this one here is being able to take advantage of privilege.
Well, she thinks she is, because I do think her mom helped her with that. But I think that her mom was afraid of her. That's what I'm beginning to really believe. But let's listen more, Phil.
You ever had work since you've been in Springfield? Did you work out in Louisiana or anything?
Yes, sir.
Do you have family down in Louisiana?
I have some, but unfortunately we're not on good speaking terms.
Okay, all right.
Now, her dad's in Louisiana, and she's saying that they're not on good speaking terms. Now, here's the thing. Now, it was shown in FOIAs that a couple, I don't know, it wasn't long before this, she was in contact with her dad. And Dee Dee was going to have gallstones removed, or kidney stones, something. And Gypsy wrote on the family Facebook thing, and her stepmom, and her dad both responded. So this isn't a true statement either. She said, we're not on speaking terms.
Now, do you have any family here in Missouri? I'm sorry, we're in different states.
I have my mom that lives in Missouri.
Okay.
She left that hanging there. I'm not too sure anybody said anything to her about her mother's MURDER.
Is that it, or do you have anybody else?
Does friends count or not really?
No, like biological.
Supposedly she didn't have any friends, she said.
Like brother or sister, siblings, nothing like that. Okay, so are you an only child then? Okay, all right.
But she's not an only child. She has half siblings, just not, with her mom and not in Missouri.
What's some things that you like to do? I mean, what kind of hobbies do you like?
I love art.
You love art?
I love to go to the movies. I love animals.
Yeah, in the meantime, she, I think, left some animals inside and then left. Like, she wasn't good to her animals. That's bullshit. She had cats that she just kind of let go.
Just different things like that.
Well, Gypsy, we are here investigating something, so I do need to talk with you about some things, okay?
I'm thankful because I have no idea why I'm here.
I have no idea why I'm here, Phil.
Okay.
Nobody will tell me anything.
Yeah,
Nobody will tell me anything, Phil.
yeah, that's fine, and that's kind of why we're here, to kind of help you out with that, okay? So, I am going to just read Miranda just here real quick, okay? And as I'm reading this, if you don't understand something, I want you to stop me and say that you don't understand, okay? It's not being rude, it's not being polite or anything, okay? And just let me know. How much schooling do you have?
Unfortunately, I was homeschooled, but my education is kind of scattered. So I'm basically I'm a third grader.
Okay. Do you know how to read and write okay and everything? Okay, good.
Not too much spell.
She's smarter than a third grader. She's a liar.
All very good, but I can read.
Okay. How would you say your comprehension level is?
Good.
Good. Okay. Okay. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to your lawyer, have your lawyer present with you or you're being questioned.
When's she gonna realize, oh shit, I'm being arrested?
If you cannot afford a hire lawyer, one will be going to represent you before any question. If you wish, you can decide at any time to exercise his rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Did you understand everything that I read you? Okay. Do you have a cell phone?
You read that kind of fast,
No,
didn't
no,
you?
no. Did you have
Well, I have this on a faster speed though too. Just
Oh, okay. Right.
But so he's asking, do you have a cell phone number? She's lying.
a phone?
My mom's home
Okay.
phone.
What's that number?
417-833-8501.
Okay. 8501. Okay. Do you ever do anything on the computer? Do you ever play games or anything on the computer? Do you ever mess with the computer or anything like that?
I don't really have a computer.
Okay.
No.
She's telling an untruth there.
Yeah.
Because you have to remember that she was writing to him on the computer and stuff.
And he's probably aware of her whole internet history at that point.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
think so.
A seasoned investigator typically will ask questions that he already has the answer to.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to remember, they did just pick her up and they did have to come. Like, she's in Wisconsin now. These are Missouri cops. So she's been waiting there for the Missouri cops to come and pick her up in a Wisconsin holding facility, you know, the jail. You see what I'm saying? So they're just getting there. This was 10 years ago. I think that they know something, but they don't know they don't know, because clearly they don't know enough to think that right now they think that Nick's the guiltier one. Right?
But you
So
would
they
think
don't.
at that point he's aware of her posting on Facebook at the very least, her internet savvy to identify, what did you
Not
say?
yet. Not yet.
He's
We'll
not
see
aware
that.
of that yet.
No, well, no, he knows that something was posted, but he doesn't know that she posted it yet.
Yeah, so I was just saying, I think he's aware that she does have some, history with being an internet user. To whatever degree, we don't know, but
Okay, well, let's watch. Let's see.
Or anything like that? No? Okay. No laptop or
No.
cable
My
wire or
mom
anything?
didn't let me use mine because she was like, it's unsafe. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Why did she feel like that was unsafe?
My mom tended to be overprotective.
Okay.
Okay, so mind you, there's no, huh?
she spoke of her mother in the past tense.
Yeah, but also she's saying that the worst it is that her mom was overprotective.
Right, but she tended to be overprotective.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
It's understandable. I want to tell you that what I've got to talk to you about, if you're involved in this, you need to tell me that now. Okay?
I'm completely 100% honest.
And let me
No, she's not.
let me talk for just a second, okay? But if you're involved in this, then you need to be honest with me and you need to tell me now and not wait till later. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want you to understand that there's just some things going on that you need to be made aware of. And I think that you're aware of it, okay? All right.
Look, she's sitting crisscross applesauce and she's leaning in. She wants to hear Why am I here after so many hours, detective?
My concern at this point, let me back up with something. You're here. Do you know where you're at right now?
Yes.
Okay, where are you at right now?
I'm at the Waukesha Police Department.
Okay. All right. And how did you live in Missouri at one point, right? Okay. How did you get from Missouri to here?
Not about a week ago. It was it all started when
Here is the script.
I met my boyfriend Nick.
Okay.
And we met on an online dating website. My mom had a laptop, and so I used hers.
Okay.
But
Let me back up for just a second, okay? Earlier when I said let's be honest with each other, okay? I'll be honest with you as long as you're honest with me, okay? And I want you to understand that your honesty goes a long ways.
Okay, but she's a liar.
Okay, you don't want something in this nature to be like a big snowball. We'll use that as an example. Okay, you don't want that snowball to be so big that you know how when you pack a snowball and it's real small. What happens when you start rolling down a hill? It gets bigger. Okay, and what happens if you start telling lies? They get bigger.
You see, she thinks she's an actress here. She thinks she's going to go home. You see this?
Yeah, but he's trying to identify to her that he's already caught her in a lie, and actually was an admission, and then she fabricated. So
Yes.
he's got both sides of the lie.
Yes, I agree.
You don't remember which ones you said and which ones you told. And as soon as that thing gets so big, it goes down the bottom of the hill and it crashes into a lot of people. Okay? I mean, a lot of people. All right? And it hurts a lot of people, right? Because it's so big, it crashes and hurts them. Now, if you're telling the truth, that's not going to happen. Is that right? Okay, so that's kind of why I want you to be honest with me
But she doesn't know how to be honest.
about this, okay? About some things, all right? So we need to, I'm here, okay? Because I don't think that this is something that you
Now he's ready to give her a way out because he thinks it's Nick. Watch this, Phil.
the intention wasn't there. You know, I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. I think that you're a smart person. Okay. I think that you know, sometimes you get dealt bad hand, and I think sometimes that's what's happening with you. Okay. And I want you to understand that you need to be honest with me. And if you're involved in anything that I'm about ready to tell you, then you need to tell me. Okay.
She's right there, and I think she's wearing the same clothes that she was wearing that night of the crime.
Your mom's dead. Okay. Now, what I want to ask you is,
you ready? I want to know if you think she got this from the Strasbourg acting company or if from the Timu.
your mom's passed away. Okay, and she's deceased. All right. Now, what I want to ask you: did you have involvement in this? Okay.
What are you saying, Phil?
I wanted to see a little bit more of it. All I've gotten is her
Okay.
famed shot.
But hang on, listen to me for just a second, okay? I want you to understand something, okay? Remember the snowball that we talked about? You remember the pencil that we talked about? I'm gonna demonstrate something with the pencil here, okay? Look at me. Look at me for just a second, okay? Sometimes.
Are you thinking anything yet? Because I do have to stop it for copyright reasons.
Okay, no, I was going to say is by him bringing out the pencil and doing this is because he's seeing through it. Even though
okay. So
I'm
I just
thinking
want to
he's seeing
okay.
through her.
Hang on.
He's seeing her as performing.
Okay, so hang on a second. So I want to be fair because I've watched this before. So okay, so you'll see that I'm not sure you're right about that. Just so you know.
It seems to me like he's seeing her performing this, that he's aware that she already knows about her mother being dead.
Okay.
And now he's allowing her to act out this show of her playing at not knowing her mother was dead. And that is a trap for him that he's laying for her, you know, to catch in terms of having already caught her in both an omission and a fabrication.
Okay, so let's just check this out and see. Okay, hang on.
As people are going along, you know how you got a pencil. You got the lead here and you got the eraser right here, right? You know what I'm talking about? You've seen a pencil, right? You've used a pencil before, right? Okay. And When you write with a pencil, you write your own story, right? Okay. You take that pencil and you're writing along with your story. Well, sometimes some people make mistakes when they write stuff down, don't they?
I don't see her wiping her eyes at all from these fake tears.
We've all made mistakes. You made mistakes. I made mistakes, right? You ever made a mistake in your life?
Yeah.
And I made mistakes in my life. Hang on just a second, okay? When you're writing this stuff down, all of a sudden you make a mistake. Well, what do you do with that mistake? You take that pencil and you flip it over and you start erasing stuff, okay?
So you like the way his approach right now, yes?
No, well, I don't actually. I don't know where he's going with that, but for a second there, it seemed like he clearly knew that she knows her mother's dead. He knows this, so he's asking her about this and allowing her to do this performance because that then reinforces the fact that she's a liar, she's a fabricator, she's a little actress. And
Okay.
Once you get that manipulation down, now you process her differently. You process her as a hostile witness, so to speak, as a hostile person, not somebody cooperative.
Okay.
And you erase it and you recorrect it. And you take that pencil and then you rewrite your history, your story, okay? And I kind of think that's where you're at with this tonight, okay? That you have a chance to rewrite your story. And I think that that's what you can do, is you can rewrite your story tonight, okay? Like I said earlier, I don't think you're a bad person. I really don't. I don't think that that's you at all. And you're not out here, doing things that are so bad that nobody wants to talk to you, nobody wants to be around you. I don't think that's you.
Where is the wiping of the tears? Have you noticed that?
Well, I mean, just if it was you or me and someone had informed us our mothers had been deceased, he wouldn't be able to talk. He would not be controlling the room. There would be no moment for him.
Right.
It would be our moment, and that would be a whole other thing. What he's doing here is controlling the whole thing like a salesman on a phone call. And he's leading her and steering her down the primrose path. I don't know what for. Is he trying to get her to incriminate the other guy? Possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, that's where
So that's where,
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, so that's where I think he's going. That's exactly where he's going.
Okay, but what I do think is there's some stuff going on that you and I need to talk about. And why these things happen, okay? And that's where we're at with this, okay? Now, I want you to understand something. That you need to be, look at me, okay? Look at me for just a second, okay? You're in a situation where you can help yourself right now, okay? And that's what you need to do, okay? You've got to help yourself, okay? Because the more and more you let that snowball roll down that hill and get bigger, what's going to happen is explode. And that's what's going to happen with you, You don't want that, do you? I don't think you do. I wouldn't want that. So we've got to rewrite history. We've got to rewrite some things, don't we? Okay, and I think that's where we're at with all this, right?
I don't like that he said we've got to rewrite history. Like, that's not good. You don't
I wonder
rewrite
if this
history.
officer's ever gotten a review based on this interrogation.
Well, every time you watch this, there's something more. So I never noticed him saying that before, in all honesty.
What happened with your mom at night?
I don't know what happened with my mom at all.
Okay, just listen to me, okay, sweetheart. You know what happened to your mom, okay? You know exactly. Sweetheart, listen to me. Let's not go down that road taking your pencil and writing a bunch of mistakes down. And then when you get to a certain point, that paper's gone, and guess what? You can't erase it, can you?
No.
You can't erase it anymore. Do you want that?
No.
I don't think you do. I think you're smart enough.
Well,
to
that's the
understand
first time
where we're at with this, okay?
That's the first time I saw her wipe her face. Yeah.
Okay? I think you know, okay? And I know that you know. All right. I wouldn't be here if I
Yeah,
didn't.
this is it. This is the point.
The answer to a lot of.
This is the point. He knows that she knows, and he's trying to trap her. And maybe the whole point of the eraser is a metaphor for her to not keep writing a line of bullshit.
Yeah, no, he's saying she's got to clean up her mistakes.
Yeah, and right now, so what happened that night with your mother is the question he's been trying to get at.
And here we go.
These questions, okay? I already know them, okay? I know them, and I'm giving you a chance to be honest with me, okay? Because you don't want this thing to spiral out of control. Okay?
No.
Your boyfriend's in here, okay?
He's here.
He's in here, okay? All right. And do you think that we've not talked to people?
No, I know.
Listen to me before you say a whole lot. Do not dig yourself in a bunch of lies, because what's going to happen? That's no.
So he doesn't know the truth. He's fishing for it here. Just like what's going on with Nick. They were fishing for it. They're telling her, oh, we know this, and listen to how vague he is in actuality.
Snowball's gonna get so
Well,
huge,
he's
sweetheart.
trying to get
It is
her
nice.
to admit her participation in it and any part she may have played in it. But what he knows is that she knew her mother was dead. She was playing like she didn't know her mother wasn't.
Oh, I know. No. I
She was
know, but
playing another game with him that he just blew out of the water with this whole process to now get at the question, what happened that night? And every time he asks her or attempts to measure, he's getting more and more bullshit. He's getting dissuasion. He's not getting.
yep. Let's go.
Explode on you, and you're never ever gonna dig yourself out of it. Do you understand me?
I understand.
So I want to know, okay, why?
Why?
Why did you guys hurt your mom? Okay, so,
You would never.
sweetheart,
hurt
look
me.
at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Mhm.
I've got kids. I've been doing this for a long time,
I know, sir.
and I want you to understand something. Don't dig yourself out. Don't go down that path, okay? Because listen to me for a second. You go down that path, and what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen if you go
He keeps repeating this over and over. He's not. I don't think he's so great at this. I just
down that path? It's not a path to go
If
down.
anything, I don't tell lies.
I don't tell lies. Oh my god.
I mean, in terms of being so great at something, it's largely an impossible situation when you're investigating or interrogating someone and they are actively withholding the truth, they are actively hiding, they're actively lying, they're omitting and fabricating, they're doing all the things they possibly can to keep you away from the truth. And you know this. He's sitting there and he knows there's more to this. And
Oh, absolutely. And he's gonna get it. He'll get to it, but it's gonna be because of Nick, not because of Gypsy.
Okay, and don't sit here and lie to me, because if you do, what's going to happen is it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're not going to remember the ones that you've told other people. Okay, the other people that I've
That
probably already
doesn't
talked
matter to her.
You understand that?
I understand.
Why?
Would you like me to start from the beginning?
I only want you to start from the beginning, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. And I'm glad you're making that progress. Okay, I'm proud of you for that. But the first thing that we need to get out of the way right now is why. That's the biggest thing. You've got friends. You've got friends that love you.
Of course
That
I
care
know.
for you.
I know.
You and your mom
Yes,
have
of
friends
course.
that care for you.
I know.
You know what?
At one point, she's telling people she had no friends. She has nothing.
They're down the bottom of the hill with that snowball,
Mhm.
and they're asking all these questions. They're asking why.
I know.
Now, help me give them an answer as to why. Okay, you have to give me an answer as to why, because they are so concerned about you.
I know. I have a lot of friends in Missouri. I know that.
Okay.
And I would never hurt my mom.
Okay, sweetheart,
Yeah, she'd never hurt her. In the meantime, I told you that she a pellet gun, that she unleashed a pellet gun on her, right?
you really want to dig yourself, you're digging yourself deeper. Okay?
No, seriously, I would never hurt her.
Listen to me, okay? I don't play around with that, okay? I'm not gonna play around with this, okay?
Sir, I didn't do anything.
Listen to me. Don't let that snowball get bigger, because that's what you're doing right now. Okay, you have a chance. You have the opportunity right here, right now. Because once I walk out that door and that opportunity's gone, guess what?
It's gone. It's gone for good.
It's just like when that paper's taken away, when you're writing that pencil, you don't have a chance to erase that mistake. Okay, you need to, in your family, in your friends. You don't have very many family members, but you got a lot of.
yeah, he's using the techniques. I remember there was this great show back in the day, Homicide: Life in the Streets. The character's name was Frank Pembleton. He was played by Andre Brower. What a great performance by him. He would get you in the box and he could get you to admit guilt. And he actually, I remember one time the captain came in and said, that's not the guy. And he goes, but he was involved with it. And he got him to admit the guilt of even just remotely allowing it to happen to in his community. This is kind of the technique you want to use, and just keep nailing her down and reducing her mental options that she thinks she's giving herself to the actual one choice she has in front of her face, and that is to admit the truth or suffer the consequences.
Okay.
Okay, and everyone want to know why. That's all they want to know. They don't. They still love you. They still care about you. They just, listen to me for just a second, okay? All they want to know is why. and I have to give that to them because they can't sleep at night because they want to know why. That's all they want to know. Okay, that's all they're looking at.
Sir, I have a million questions right now.
Okay,
So,
you know what?
She's still trying to act like nothing happened. I don't know what
I'm
happened.
proud of you for wanting to ask those million questions, and you know what? We can answer those, okay?
okay.
But we got to get down to the bottom of why.
Okay.
The why. And your friends are very, very concerned about you. They all love you. But guess what?
Sure.
Those friends are standing at the bottom of that hill.
I understand.
And that snowball
I
is
understand.
getting ready to crush them because they
I
want
think
to
I
know
get
why.
things very, very clearly. You think that it's me? Why do you think that it's me? I have always thought my mom and I are best friends.
Listen,
No ABUSER. Best friends. Best friends.
to me. Listen to me. Please don't dig yourself in this hole. And that's what you're doing. You're still doing it. Okay. But do you not think that we've already talked to some people? Okay. Do you not think that we've talked to everybody? I mean, I'm not going to come in here without having all my things in line.
Listen to how
I
vague
understand
he
that.
Of
is.
course, I understand that. And
We need to get to the why. When we get to the why, then all these other questions I can answer for you, and we can move on with this. Okay. And you're the person that knows the why. You're the only person that knows the why. Okay. And that's where we're at with it. You're the only one that knows the why, and your friends.
sir,
Do you really want to disappoint your friends?
no, of course not.
I can unalive my mom, but God forbid I disappoint my friends.
Okay, then why?
May I please speak?
Well, when we get to the why this happened,
I don't even really know what happened.
okay.
I came here because my mother came out of my house. She and I were having relationship problems. I guess she wanted me
But they were best friends.
to stay with her girl forever. She didn't really like my boyfriend.
And she did like him. She wrote to somebody and said that she liked Nick.
And she was like, pretty much, if you want to move to Wisconsin with him, fine, go. And I packed my stuff.
And this is the same story that Nick says at the beginning.
She basically wanted me out of the house before then because we kept on having arguments. But I'm not a violent person. I would never.
Not violent. I'm only violent when it came to what was it? Like using the pellet gun on my mom, using a knife. I'm not violent.
Never hurt her. And a lot of our arguments stemmed from being with Nick.
I mean, honestly, if the officer knows this to this
The
degree,
arguments stem from being with Dan, but no, he
anybody who
doesn't
just
know-
lost
wait,
their
he
mother
doesn't
is going
know
to have a
that.
lot more emotion, is going to have a
Yeah,
lot
but-
more
yeah,
feeling
but-
about the loss, and she's not expressing any feeling.
Yeah, but
Did the jurors see this footage? I can only imagine the jurors had to see this.
no, they didn't see this footage because she took a plea deal.
That's right. There was never. The
And
prosecutor saw this and determined that she was that innocent. All right,
so
that's an absolute. That's.
come
I
here.
think that's a shame. That's a horrible-
Travesty. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
miscarriage of. That's
Yeah.
a miscarriage right there.
I gave him money to come here.
That's just ridiculous.
And I said, can you please come pick me up? Because my mom's kicking me out of the house real soon. And that's when he asked his mom, could I stay with his mom and him and his stepdad and his little brother? His mom said, fine. So, anyway, I don't exactly know the exact date he came to Springfield, but I know that I gave him the money to stay at a hotel. And, anyway, I let him know that,
Hey, hang on. Okay, we're going in a totally different direction here. Okay, we're going to get back to where we
She's following a script that she wrote for him and Nick, because he's basically saying the same thing.
started from. Okay, you listen to me. Okay, let's get back to the why. We can talk all night long about this other stuff, and I'll sit here and I'll listen to you, and I'll listen to everything. This investigation is very thorough. Okay. And there's a lot of whys, and you need to answer those whys, okay? Give yourself, what about yourself? Give yourself the peace that you need. You need a lot of peace within inside of you, okay? You know, once you get this off your chest,
He's
you're going to feel a lot better about yourself, first of all, okay? And your friends, okay?
My friends know me as a sweet
you're right.
and as
You're
I
right.
am.
But you know what? Sometimes sweet people make mistakes. Everybody does, okay? You make mistakes, I make mistakes. But you know what? I'm glad you're not this
Unaliving my mom would not be a mistake. It would be a huge crime.
person that's out here going around and doing this to a lot of other people, okay? I'm glad you're not that person. If you are, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't even want to be in the same room with you if that's you, okay? But I think what it is, I think there's a lot of frustration in your life. I think that there's some things that you and your mom, you've already said that your mom, you kind of had some arguments and you kind of had some strained relationships, okay?
But we worked through
You know
it.
what? You work through it. You're right, you do. But sometimes that can get the better of people, okay? And I think that's kind of
So Gypsy's claiming that her mom and her worked through stuff. So she's trying to like clear herself, but we know that this is not the truth, you know?
You know, and he's seeing clearly through her, and is again trying to nail her down on staying close to the fact. Why did you get involved with this? And it also in an attempt at getting at why she would reveal her partner.
Okay.
You know, at what point? Because he at this point may not know that she had done no stabbing or whatever the claim would eventually become.
where you're at with that. I think that you're stressing your life because your mom wanted you to stay so little all the time. Finally got to a boiling point, and you just said, you know what? I'm done. You know, no matter what, mom, I'm going to go with my boyfriend. I'm going to do whatever I want now. You made that decision, okay? But we need to get to why this happened to your mom, okay? You know what? People make mistakes every day. You do, I do, we all do. We've established that. And I'm going to establish it every time because you know what? That's what this is. It's just a mistake. That's all it is, okay?
He just keeps repeating, it's a mistake, it's a mistake, it's a
Well, he's
mistake.
trying to soften it for her so she doesn't feel so guilty about it. And you know, she's made a mistake. You made the mistake of being angry with your mom. You made the mistake of hating your mom. You made the mistake of thinking bad thoughts about your mom. You know, it's an incremental thing to getting her to making the mistake of agreeing to have her mom killed, or whatever it is that she would eventually agree to.
Well, as we know, she hired somebody for this shit. Let's go.
It's not something that's so huge out here. It's just, oh my gosh, it's a mistake. It's a simple little mistake.
My mom.
It's just a simple mistake. Is all it was. Okay.
I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know. If I knew the basic facts of what is going on,
Sweetheart.
my friend had I have a
She's trying.
I do have a phone, but it doesn't call people. I just basically used it for Yahoo messaging app, and one of the people that had texted me, I had texted him that I was leaving home, and he texted me, and he's like, "Are you okay? People have been posting some stuff on Facebook," and I asked him, "What post?"
This is the stuff that she actually posted on Facebook.
And unfortunately, police came before I could even read what he was saying. So I guess he was trying to tell me something.
Okay. Do you see that that's what all your friends are wondering why?
Mm-hmm.
Even that friend that you're talking about is wondering why. Aaliyah's worried about you.
Aaliyah?
Now, Aaliyah was a good friend of hers. And Aaliyah took a lot of heat for shit that she did, Gypsy did. Like sending actually exploited pictures to Gypsy's dad of Gypsy. Aaliyah did not do that. Gypsy did that herself. And Aaliyah took the blame for it without knowing it. So Aaliyah is a good person, has always been a good person, in my opinion. And Gypsy just does not appreciate anybody in her life, to be honest with you.
Well, he knows. I was going to say he knows this, and
What?
she said he knows this, and she seemingly is looking at the camera and trying to say hello to Aaliyah. For a second there, she sort of blew past him and was brightened up to say hello to Aaliyah or to address Aaliyah. Just it would seem very, very odd.
Mm.
Okay, but look at me. This time is different. This time it's a lot different. She's very concerned about you, sweetheart. Very.
What about my Aunt Rachel?
Okay. Why did this happen?
I don't know.
You do know why it happened. Okay.
don't know why it happened.
Let me tell you something.
Well, at this point, he's also aware that of the post on Facebook. At the very least, he knows
Absolutely.
that she posted. How did you say?
No,
a
he
video
doesn't
or
know that
something
she
like that?
posted it. He
What?
doesn't know that. Hang on. He doesn't know that she posted it.
He knows the content of the post.
Yes, but he doesn't know that she posted it yet.
I walk out that door.
Did she have a heart attack? She was
Hey,
sick.
look at me. We're not going to play those games. I'm not
She's
gonna do that.
asking if her mom
That's
had
not
a
what I'm
heart
here to do.
attack.
Okay. Then start being honest with yourself. And start being honest with me.
She's saying, I am, but she's not. She's
No,
not.
you're not. Okay. You're not a bad person. I don't care what anybody's ever said.
She's a very
I
bad
don't care
person.
what I don't care what your family's ever done to you.
I know, sir.
I don't care that maybe somebody's bullied you or made fun of you. Okay. Well, you know what? All that rage gets picked up inside. That gets so overwhelming to anybody. I don't care if it's you, me, somebody else. And you know what happens? You explode. Everybody does.
I go to church.
Okay.
And I take communion.
I go to
And
church.
I release all of that.
Okay. And
I go to church, Phil. I go to
Yeah.
church and I take communion, and I can't possibly do anything wrong.
This is the motto of the Costa Nostra.
All
We go to
bullshit.
That's fine.
confession on
That's
Saturday and we take the communion on Sunday. That's how we get through it.
our brothers for that, okay? And that's something that you need to continue to do, okay? But there again, people make mistakes, okay? You know, Jesus got angry in the Bible, did he not? And
Yes.
flipped the tables over, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so even he gets angry, okay? But all your friends are still down here, and all they want to know is why. They don't care about the details. They just want to know why, and they're concerned for you, and they still love you, and they still care for you. Matter of fact, there's still a lot of people there for you,
I know.
and every one of them's asking me why. Take it in.
Why?
Why?
I don't know if you didn't know this, but my mom had guardianship papers for me. Because
Ooh. I don't know. This quiet. I'm not messing with anything here.
and Uncle Ray.
Okay. Can we talk about why first? And I'm glad you brought that up, okay? Because I've talked to them.
Good.
And you know what? They're the script people sitting in there asking me why. Detective Hancock, why? With tears in their eyes. Detective Hancock, why?
Why don't you tell me why,
You
please?
tell me why, and then I'll tell you why.
I don't know why.
Yes, you do, sweetheart. You know exactly what's going on.
I don't. Please, I don't know what's going on.
Sweetheart, look at me, okay?
Look at her. She's such a
Stop
liar.
letting us get out of control. Stop. Yeah, you do know. That's smart. I'm proud of you for saying that, you know, because you do know. And you're going to let this get so far out of control that there's no way you're going to dig yourself out of it. And I'm here, okay? Because your family and your friends, and I know all of them are just your friends and they're not your family, but you might as well consider them family.
I do.
Because every one of them care about you.
I do consider them.
And I get phone calls all the time. Mr. Hancock, why? Mr. Hancock, that's all we want to know. Why? We still love her. We still care for her, but why? Mr. Hancock, we love
He ain't letting go of this. He ain't letting go of this with this tactic.
her to death.
I
Why?
mean, he
Just
actually
care.
seems like he's trying to downplay, you know, who he's talking to. He suspects her of whatever criminality that, you know, she's got deep in her heart. He suspects that. He can see it, but he's trying to talk to her like a little girl to some degree. He's trying to talk to her like a young person, a naive person.
Yeah, I know. And he's trying to act like a dad towards her. More
And
or
he's
less.
given a little of that. Yeah, he's got the
That fatherly type figure type
warm
thing,
sweater
yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Care about her. Your Star Wars people, your buddies, every one of them.
Mr.
Rogers. We want to
Rogers.
know why. You know, we love her. Tell her we love her, but we want to know why.
I can just imagine how many people you talk to.
And they all, you know what? And everyone wants to know why. They don't care about anything else. They just want to know why. So what am I supposed to go and tell them? What am I supposed to do? Okay, because here's
I'm just wondering the question you're asking. Why? What happened? Why did
So she's still trying to play a fool.
I come up here? Why did something happen to my mom?
and that's why I'm asking. Why?
She had a lot of medical conditions.
Okay, this is not a medical condition. You know that. It's not a medical condition.
Yeah, decapitation, that's not medical. 17 jabs, not medical.
At all. Okay. All your friends and family If I can't go home,
Please tell me.
listen to me. If I can't go home and tell them why this happened, that's all I want to know. If I can't go home and tell them that, guess what? They're going to wonder the rest of their life. It's going to hurt them.
Please tell me she did not commit suicide. She had bipolar.
Okay,
And
we're not going to get off on that track. We're not getting off on that track. Okay. You know what happened?
She jabbed herself 17 times and nearly took her head off.
Well, that's at least 2 distinct times she tried to change and introduce a narrative. My mother's, bipolar and suicide. My mother's got a medical condition. Did she have a heart attack? Did she commit suicide? So these are her interjections, and that's speaks to planning and premeditated murder.
I've seen the crime scene photos. I've seen the photos of Dee Dee. Yeah, it was no suicide or heart attack. Trust me.
You do know what happened. You were there, okay?
wait, no,
Yes, you were. You were there,
I wasn't there.
okay?
I told you I got kicked out.
You're leaving stuff out. You know something, and you're afraid. You're scared.
I am afraid, and I am
Are you
scared because
afraid?
I don't know what's
So
going
has
on.
somebody threatened you?
I'm being threatened.
What do you,
He's giving her an alibi right now. He's giving her Nick right now.
Well, at this point, I think he knows who he's dealing with. He's not dealing
I
with an
think he's still
innocent truth
blaming
teller
Nick.
who's going to reveal and is just scared. He can see that she's criminally introducing storylines that he there's no evidence for. So now you have to keep getting at the truth.
No, I think that he still is ready to blame this shit on Nick.
what do you think a
Well,
threat is?
I mean, ultimately,
What do you
they want a
consider
check mark. They want this case solved. So
yeah, they don't, and they
they're
don't give
picking
a
up
shit.
on that, I think.
Unfortunately, you're right, but unfortunately, that's the way that a lot of them, not just this department, but a lot of the departments handle things, and a lot of people are walking away. Gypsy did 8.5 years. Maddie Soto's mom, Jen Soto, did nothing, no time at all, and yet she fed her kid basically to her boyfriend. I mean, to her boyfriend. I told you about that story. Like, come on.
Um, I'm gonna kill.
Somebody ever said that to you?
Um, no.
Yes, they have.
See,
I know.
he's giving. See, what do you think about that?
Well, I think if he's saying yes, they have, he must have some evidence to identify that someone said to her something about killing.
No,
So you
what
just
he's
speak.
saying, he's saying that she was bullied and threatened into this. And who's the person that could have done that is Nick. And that's the problem that I have with this, is that besides the fact that she's a fucking liar,
Yeah, I mean, it
I
just seems
don't
like so
expect
far he's been
him. I
working to
don't
uncover
expect
her.
him to give her a fucking. I don't expect him to give her an idea of an alibi. I don't expect that at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening here.
I need to see a little more of it to get that from him. I'm just not getting it yet.
So you're telling me you've never been threatened?
Well, once by a stranger at Walmart.
Not recently.
He's trying to get Nick.
How far are you going to let this snowball get?
See,
How big
he's trying to blame Nick, and she's not catching on.
are you going to let this snowball get before it just explodes? You want to let it get just so big, so huge, that even your family and friends won't ever talk to you again?
No, of course not.
Because right now, all your family and friends, every one of them, they're
Why would she give a shit she unalived her mom?
there. They're still supporting you.
Of course.
You know why? Because they love you.
I don't need to.
And I've even had some of them tell me that they love you. They said, Mr. Hancock, when you go talk to her, tell her I love her. Tell her that I care about her and I still love her. I said, you know what? I will tell her that. I will tell her that you still love her. But guess what? I can't do that because they have something else of me too.
What?
They asked me why. And I told
He's still trying to get why.
them, I said, you know what?
I don't know.
I said, this girl sounds like a smart girl. This girl sounds like a girl that, she's going to be honest with me when I go in her talk to her. She's going to tell me why. And then I can come back and tell you people this. And they said, good. because we love her, totally love her. So I'm telling you that your family and friends love you. And I'll tell you who they are, but we've got to get to a certain point before we can get on with that. And I know you want to hear that. I know you do. I know you, sweetheart. I know you love your mom.
Wow. What do you think of all this, Phil? We're not done with this, but what do you think of all this?
Police interrogation. The courts have allowed police to lie to you to get at, you being to the point of admitting your guilt or providing enough for a conviction. I mean, police will lie to you. You can be entertained into guilting yourself and revealing your crime because you think you're dealing with a Confederate and it turns out to be a law enforcement officer. It seems like he's skirting an edge to some degree, but it's more like an emotional edge of using conceivably some relationship she's expressed to him of her friends and family and her love for her mother to get at why. And they all want to know why. He keeps repeating that same thing. It doesn't seem like he's steering her entirely in any one direction, but he's taken his hands off the wheel once or twice, and he's giving her, I think, the opportunity to grab and say, "Hey, no, Nick wanted to take me," and yada yada.
Well, that's gonna come. I just we've already gone an hour, and so I figured maybe we could do a second and a third part to this over the next.
Consider this a series.
What?
A series.
Yeah, well, by going over this, would that be all right?
Absolutely, no problem, sister.
All right,
That's
so
really
I'm ready to end this. I'm ready to end this little interview here.
All right, and I always enjoy having conversations, so look forward to the next.
Thank you, Phil of Vinegar.
All right, yeah, indeed.